Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to get into Korean royalty, addressing Taehyung or V, whichever you know him as, and talking about their relationship. This is crazy, and she addressed this on a show and talked about her feelings. I also want to get into a HYBE report on Taehyung and talk about his health and what is going on. I have a lot to say about this as well. So grab your dumplings, please spilling mug merch, and let's jump into the tape. If you're new here and you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified anytime a new video drops. And if you're a hater, I'd like to be first to leave your hate comment. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also, and you'll be first to do so. Now let's jump into it. The first thing I want to talk about and get into is Korean royalty, kind of addressing Taehyung. I mean, this is such a big deal and very cute. It's not surprising as Taehyung is considered the ambassador of Korea, but it's still always fun and cute to know that someone a lot of people respect, such as Korean royalty, came out and addressed someone we really like, Taehyung, of course. It's no secret that BTS or K-pop in general is seen as something only kids like and something that we need to grow out of. But liking the Kardashians or actors or liking anything like that is seen as what adults like and what we should take interest in. But that seems to be changing in recent years, and especially since K-pop has started to dominate the GDP for both Korea and America. GDP just means the amount of money that's being brought into the economy. So as you can imagine, a lot of adults that want to trade and make money in the stock market have to now pay attention to the current upwards trajectory of K-pop. Everything has been changing a lot and very fast. But someone that a lot of people take a lot of interest in is Korean royalty, and specifically I am talking about Miss Korea of 2020. She is absolutely stunning, but that isn't just what being Miss Korea is all about. You can't just go into the pageant or whatever and be really pretty and just win the whole thing. A lot of girls that are lined up and competing are extremely gorgeous, and I wouldn't say they're more or less gorgeous than each other, as these things are more subjective. But the thing that would make them stand out from each other and make them more appropriate to be named Miss Korea is being smart, being elegant, and being graceful. These are things, yes, can be taught, but it's easy to see who is born with this grace and elegance versus someone who was just taught this 5 days ago, you know? And this is why with a lot of pageants, they ask questions to the contestants to really gauge their intelligence. So with that said, the winner is an all-round amazing person. She was recently on a show in Korea and they had asked her about her ideal type, as this is something I am sure a lot of interested bachelors are wondering if they have a chance with this gorgeous and smart woman. They asked if she prefers someone who is buff or handsome, and she said handsome, although when you're buff, you're usually handsome too, right? But of course you can be handsome and not buff, and that is actually typically my type too. But she said, for example, she thought Taehyung or V was very much her type, someone handsome with good vibes. And for sure Taehyung has great vibes. He is someone who I do not doubt I would be able to sit there and have a conversation with. He is someone that I would love to pick their brain about things and see his perspective, and he just seems like someone you can just sit next to and not say a word and just have a good vibe with them. I'm glad Miss Korea was definitely able to see that, and the fact that someone so smart and beautiful has acknowledged BTS in this way, or specifically Taehyung, I really do think a lot of people in Korea would look at BTS or Taehyung a little differently. Probably take them more seriously. And there will no doubt be a spike in men looking up to Taehyung to see how they can replicate his style so that these men can be Miss Korea's type. Taehyung and Miss Korea do have at least one thing in common, which is that they represent Korea, whether people like it or not. And while I don't think most of Korea has an issue with K-pop, K-pop is actually not that big in Korea, as most Koreans don't see it as anything special. But this definitely brings more eyeballs to K-pop from Koreans, and if you're someone with a lot of Korean pride, you'll be looking towards Taehyung and Miss Korea to represent Korea well. And I think they do that. I read somewhere that they are probably friends too, but I don't know if they have ever actually met each other. But it looks like Miss Korea has a bit of a crush. People online were not as happy as I was to hear about Miss Korea's love of Taehyung. People were jealous, and a lot of them were saying how she should go in the back of the line. As obviously if someone like Korean royalty is to say they want Taehyung, they might actually get him. And of course a lot of people don't want her to get, they want to get Taehyung. Well, Taehyung's off the table because I already got him. So no need to be jealous anymore, it's over. Joking aside, I don't think there is anything to be nervous about, and if Taehyung wants to date Miss Korea, he totally can. And that is not going to stop anyone, whether she publicly admitted Taehyung was her type or not. There's probably plenty of celebrities that would admit that Taehyung is their type, but they don't publicly say, but would probably flirt with Taehyung. So how can you be mad at every girl? Also shocking to know, when you win Miss Korea or any of these types of things, it's not like you win a lifetime amount of money. It's like some money that you can use for a scholarship, but not enough where you would never have to work again in your life. Imagine someone as the ambassador of a country working at McDonald's after a year when the new person gets crowned. I could be entirely wrong about this, but nowhere did I read the winners of these things get like $1 million. So like they they need to go find a job. Am I wrong? Or are they not allowed to enter unless their family is already rich? That's not true. But this was a cute story nonetheless, and it made me so happy to see the beautiful girls that Taehyung could potentially partner up with. I hope that puts a big smile on his face, as he has been experiencing some hardships and really tough times lately. BTS members are always so hard on themselves when performing and doing things like that. They expect themselves to be the best and hold such a high standard for what they do, which is amazing, but it puts a lot of pressure on them. So much so that the boys feel guilty or sad that they can't perform at optimal level when giving ARMYs a world-stopping performance. A lot of ARMYs during BTS's live performance recently, they were doing a live performance on the 24th, ARMYs noticed that Taehyung was sitting for most of the performance, and it didn't look weird. It wasn't like he was on a stool, but it looked like they had a really nice couch for him, and it matched the aesthetic of the set. So if you were a newer viewer or baby ARMY, it would appear that this is just what Taehyung does. And he was giving massive stage presence, even sitting. It was beautiful. But a lot of ARMYs definitely were confused as to why he wasn't dancing like he usually does. And there was actually a statement that was released by Big Hit or HYBE on Weverse, and it explained the whole situation. Now, Weverse is weird, and it's often difficult to understand how to use it and even find these statements. The original was in Korean, I believe, but this is translated to English to explain what is going on. And I wanted to take a second to read it so you guys know. Hello, this is Big Hit Music. We would like to provide the following information regarding the performance of BTS member V as part of today's BTS Permission to Dance on stage. V experienced pain in his calf muscles during rehearsal on the evening of October 23rd and visited a nearby hospital for examination and treatment. It was the opinion of the medical personnel that while there was no issues affecting the bones in his legs, he should refrain from vigorous movements such as choreography or stage performance for the time being. While the artist himself strongly wished to participate in the performance in full, our company has decided to follow physician's advice and minimize V's movement during today's BTS Permission to Dance on stage. As a result, V will take part in the performance while seated and without choreography. We ask for your understanding. We will continue to place the highest priority on the health and safety of our artists and strive to ensure that all of the members of BTS can meet their fans in full health. Thank you. Of course, Get Better Soon Tae was trending on the Tweetster, and people were really wishing him the best and to get better. I think it's so beautiful how ARMYs come together for this and show their love. I'm sure Taehyung appreciates it. Thank you so much to HYBE for putting out this statement tante. It's really nice to keep us in the loop and know that he will be okay soon. And health first. We of course all understand, and we actually always hope that BTS will take the advice of a doctor and not push themselves to perform. It's not that serious, and we will see him perform in the future at other shows. But if he strains himself, then he will never perform again, and ARMYs would then attack HYBE for pushing Taehyung to do the choreography, when in reality it's probably not HYBE forcing Taehyung to do anything. It's really rare to see our boys take care of themselves, and I hope they keep doing it. It's so nice to see them not hurting themselves. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for leaving comments. And as always, I do have a Patreon if you want to go over there and check that out. I have a lot of videos over there that I can't really post on here. This is a copyright or getting taken down, so I do keep it over there on my Patreon. You can get videos over there like music video reactions, performance reactions, ship reactions. You can also recommend things you like to see over there. Currently, we do have over 400 videos that are already up on there. The moment you sign up, you'll have access to. So if you're interested in any of that, as well as interacting and having fun and all that, link is in the top description down below. There's also a video over there that kind of goes over how you can support this channel even more if you would like to do that. That video is on the front page and it's free to watch. With that said, there's two videos that will appear up on screen at the end of this video, so click on one of those. See you over there. Bye.